So, the United States has 3 Formula One races now. Miami, Las Vegas, and of course, COTA in Austin, Texas. 3 races, 3 completely different personalities. Miami tried to give us fake yachts. On the other hand, Vegas went all in on the spectacle, lights, the sphere. Celebrity grid walks so awkward, they belong in a museum of pain. Then there's COTA, standing there like the last cowboy in the fight. Not trying to be flashy, not trying to trend, just being good. Real racing, real fans, and that raw Texas energy that somehow makes every overtake feel cinematic. It's chaotic, it's loud. COTA delivers wheel-to-wheel chaos, and a crowd that actually understands what DRS is. It's the race drivers like fans respect and memes can't make fun of. And that's why today, we're diving into why COTA is the only good American F1 race. Alright, so before we start pretending America has always been the holy land of Formula One, let's rewind a bit, back to when the US tried hosting F1 races, like 5 different times, and somehow managed to mess up every single one. The country had more failed Grand Prix than Haas has strategy calls. There was Watkins Glen in the 70s, which was actually pretty good until the organizers basically ran out of money, and the track started falling apart. Then came the 80s fever dream, Detroit, Phoenix, Las Vegas, each one more cursed than the last. Vegas literally had a race in a hotel parking lot. Imagine watching Senna and Prost battle for glory next to a valet booth and slot machines. Phoenix tried, but no one cared. It was so empty, you could have heard a V12 echo through the desert. America wanted F1 glory, but it felt more like a traveling circus no one bought tickets to. Even when Indy came back in the 2000s, the infamous 2005 tire disaster turned the whole thing into a 6-car meme race. So yeah, before Netflix made Americans fall in love with F1 again, the relationship status was definitely it's complicated. So, after decades of F1 in America being basically a traveling disaster show, there came this one final, desperate attempt to fix it. The Circuit of the Americas. The idea was simple on paper but sounded almost impossible back then. Build a world-class F1 circuit in the middle of Texas and convince Americans to actually care about European racing again. And somehow it worked. The story of COTA starts around 2010. They picked Austin, which at the time wasn't exactly the global motorsport capital, but it had something most cities didn't. Space, ambition, and a massive why not attitude. The guy behind it, Tavo Helmond, was basically the ultimate F1 fan who somehow convinced Bernie Ecclestone that Texas could pull off a race. And the design, they went straight to Herman Tilke. Yes, the man responsible for half of modern F1's questionable track layouts. But this time, he actually delivered. COTA wasn't just a track, it was a statement. The uphill turn 1 became instantly iconic. That blind left-hand hairpin that looks like it was designed by a drunk roller coaster engineer but somehow works beautifully. The S's section after that borrowed inspiration from Silverstone. And Suzuka, a mix of heritage with Texas chaos. It felt fast, technical, and for once, authentic. No parking lot, no downtown grid of concrete walls, just pure racing built from the ground up for Formula One. And when it finally opened in 2012, people didn't really know what to expect. Would it flop like Phoenix or become another forgotten blip on the F1 map? Nope. Austin turned out to be the perfect mix of chill American culture and proper racing passion. The fans showed up, the drivers loved it, and the track delivered real racing moments. Vettel dominated early on, but even then you could feel the difference. This wasn't some corporate gimmick, this was America saying, okay, we finally get it now. This is how F1 should feel. What makes COTA special is that it somehow bridges both worlds. It feels European enough to be respected by purists, but American enough to throw in a massive country concert right after the race and still make it work. It brought back the US Grand Prix's credibility and turned what used to be a running joke into one of the most hyped weekends on the calendar. It's not just another race anymore, it's a full-on festival, and it all started because someone decided Texas was the answer to decades of American F1 failure. When you think about COTA now, it's hard not to realize just how many iconic F1 moments have come out of this one track in barely over a decade. Like, for a circuit that was supposed to be the last chance for America to prove itself to Formula One, it's delivered way more drama, chaos, and pure cinema than anyone expected. From championship deciders to cowboy podiums, and Verstappen doing Verstappen things, COTA went from being the new kid on the block to a full-blown F1 legend factory. Let's rewind to 2012. The first ever race. It was one of those rare weekends where F1 actually felt like it had come home to somewhere new. You had Lewis Hamilton in his final win for McLaren, chasing down Vettel like his life depended on it. and pulling off that DRS overtake that instantly set the tone for what COTA would be. Fast, aggressive, and not afraid to let drivers actually race. The crowd went absolutely wild. And suddenly everyone realized, wait, maybe Americans can love F1 when it's done right. Then came 2015, the season where Texas weather decided to have a full mental break. It was rain, chaos, mud, and a grid that looked like it was melting. But the race, absolute gold. Verstappen was still in his teenage chaos era. Rosberg threw away the win with a mistake that basically handed Lewis his third world title. And the celebrations after looked like a rodeo that accidentally turned into a world championship party. It was messy, unfiltered, and somehow perfectly American. And then there's 2018, Kimi Räikkönen, a man of zero emotions, finally winning again after 113 races. Nobody saw it coming, nobody expected it, and yet somehow the whole world smiled.
In 113 races, the checkered flag for him as a winner. Kimi Räikkönen wins the US Grand Prix and breaks the record for the longest gap between race wins.
That moment when he crossed the line and said, yeah, in that completely flat Kimi tone, it's still one of the most satisfying moments in modern F1. It was like the universe collectively agreed to let him have that one. And of course it happened at COTA. So here's the thing, when you look at all the American F1 races, COTA isn't just the best by default, it's the best because it earned it. It didn't have the flashiest marketing. It didn't need a fake harbor or VIP lounges stuffed with influencers who think DRS is a skincare brand. It had racing, pure, proper elbows out racing, and that's something you can't fake, not even with $1 billion Las Vegas light show. COTA gets it. It found the sweet spot between Formula One's European heritage and the big, loud, unapologetic American energy that makes sports here what they are. It's got that cowboy grit mixed with world-class engineering, and it doesn't pretend to be anything else. It's self-aware in the best way. It knows it's in Texas, it knows it's loud, it knows there's barbecue smoke in the air, and cowboy hats in the paddock. And instead of hiding it, it leans straight into it. That's what makes it cool, and you can tell the drivers love it too. They don't go there because they have to, they go there because the track actually rewards skill. Turns 16 through 18 are straight up brutal. That high-speed snake section is one of the best rhythm sequences in modern F1. And the elevation change into turn 1, that's just pure drama every single lap. It's a circuit that actually respects the driver. It doesn't hand them easy DRS zones or lazy design gimmicks. You make a mistake there, you pay for it, and that's the way racing should be. Compare that to the chaos of Vegas, a race that looks like someone dropped Monaco in the middle of a casino parking lot and hoped for the best. Or Miami, which somehow manages to feel like a TikTok event with a few F1 cars accidentally driving through. Those tracks feel artificial because they are. They're all marketing and no muscle. COTA though, COTA has heart. It's the only one that feels like it belongs on the F1 calendar. Not just as a box to tick for the American market. So yeah, if Vegas is the influencer, and Miami's the guy who only watches for the grid walk drama, then COTA is the real one. It's the racer's race, the fans' track, and the circuit that actually understands what F1 is supposed to feel like. It's not trying to sell you a fantasy, it's giving you the raw, dusty, sweaty, loud reality of motorsport. And that's exactly why it works. COTA didn't just save the US Grand Prix. It proved that America could host one that actually matters. And that's why for all the lights, hype, and hashtags that come with modern F1, when the engines fire up in Texas and the cowboy hats go on, you know you're about to watch something real. And that's what keeps people coming back every single year. Because at the end of the day, Vegas might have the lights, Miami might have the celebrities, but COTA's got soul.